Hi everyone and welcome to a new session about Azure API Center. My name is Ashraf bin Alaya. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, Microsoft MVP. I write and I blog about everything related to architecture about Azure, DevSecOps, best practices, and certification. And today we are going to talk about something that is still in preview, but it will resolve a big problem inside most of the organization. And the product name is Azure API Center. So let's go. First of all, let's talk and understand what is API. API or Application Programming Interface is a set of rules that allow one software application to interact with another, enabling communication and data exchange. We can consume these APIs from mobile application, from web application, for a single page application, and these APIs are the core of most of the applications today, and it's helping most of the companies to make their softwares working. Companies today use API extensively for various purposes, such as integrating third-party services like payment gateways, accessing external data like weather information or payment information, and connecting with platforms like social media APIs for posting content. Example, Twitter API, Instagram API, Threads API, and Facebook API. Today, developers often face the challenge of not being able to find the API they need to work with. This can lead actually to frustration and confusion as they don't know who to ask for help. Without the right API, developers may struggle to complete their project efficiently. The search for the right API can become time-consuming and hinder the development process. It is important for developers to have access to the necessary APIs to ensure smooth workflow. Lack of access to APIs can lead to delays and setbacks in software development. Finding the right API is critical for developers to create innovative and functional applications. The frustration of not finding the API needed can impact the overall project timeline. Developers need support and resources to navigate the complex world of APIs. Ultimately, having access to the right API is essential for developers to succeed in their project and doesn't creating something that already exists. Many organizations struggle today with managing their API effectively. With the increasing number of API within organizations, maintaining governance become very hard, and developers often face challenges in discovering and reusing existing APIs within their organization. Today we present the solution. Azure API Center addresses the challenges developers face in finding the right API by offering a centralized hub for API discovery. It ensures that developers can easily locate the API they need, reducing frustration and confusion. Additionally, by facilitating collaboration and providing comprehensive API information, Azure API Center helps streamline the development process, minimizing delays and setbacks. Overall, Azure API Center supports developers by providing access to the necessary APIs, thereby enabling them to succeed in their projects efficiently. For example, here in the screen, we have an organization that have two teams. The two different teams can have multiple APIs, some of them inside the API management in some prod or UAT or dev environment, and some of them are inside the compute services. So in order to know and understand every API and ask about it, we need to contact someone, and that someone need to know or have the knowledge about all these APIs. And today it's becoming very impossible. For that, API Center is the hub where we can find all the APIs. Azure API Center solves the problem of scattered and organized API within an organization by providing a centralized hub for API discovery, governance, and consumption. It enables stakeholders to understand and track and reuse, govern APIs, fostering collaboration and maximizing developer productivity. Now, what we can do is go to the MS Learn website. If you want to know more information about what is Azure API Center, get to know it better, see the key concepts and how it works, you can see the URL that I will be posting below this video, and I will just share the link in order to see all the information about Azure API Center if you want to go through the documentation. Now let's go to the Azure portal where we are going to see information about it. In order to look for it, let's search the search bar. If you want to create a new one, let's select the resource group where we want to create it and give it a name and select region. A few regions exist because it's still in preview, as I said, but in the future it may exist in other region. Now this is an API Center that I have already created inside this resource group where I have a couple of APIs, API management service, and some computer services. And here we have the basic three assets where we want to focus, which is environment, API, and the metadata schema. Let's start by going to the environment. I have defined three environments here, a region which is front central, dev environment, and UAT environment, and you can choose the type and the server type. As you can see here, we have the information about the environment that we have, the management portal, the developer portal. We can set the instruction, we can edit this instruction, we can update it, and we can even create a new environment where, for example, we are going to define an environment for a new API or an API that will be updated. And here we can choose the type of environment. We can see the type of the server that we have. It's AWS or Azure API Management or Compute Service. We can share the management portal URL, and if we have a developer portal URL, we can share it too. We can set the API approver to see who will approve the use of this API. We can define the metadata schema. For example, here I created one for the API approvers to set their names. We can have different information here. We can set up this information too. And here we have the API definition. As you can see here, I defined a couple of API. I set up the type, the lifecycle, and summary about each API. As you can see here, we have an overview about one of the API, which is Hunter X Hunter Anime. And here I can set up license information, external documentation, API approval, contact information. For example, if I am going to use an API and I want to reach out to the person who is responsible for this API to get some information, we can set up the information, the email, the name, the URL of this contact. We can also, if we have a license for that API, we can check the license of that application. You can set up API approver. This person will allow us to use the API or not, and we should reach to it. We can also set up the version. If we have multiple versions of the API, we can set up the definition of this version here, and we can actually see the definition of the API specification. We can check it right here, and this is so important for the developers. For example, if they want to see the OpenAPI definition, they can find it right here. It can be replaced and updated. Like that, the person that will consume this API will get information about how to use it from this schema. We can set up the version title, the lifecycle of the application, from retired to development to production. And we can add the deployment. If we have different deployments environments, we can add them right here, and each development will be defined. So this was the Azure API Center, and this was the presentation of something that will help many organizations stop redoing and recreating API that already exist and wasting time finding the right API. Thank you.